electronic cigarettes only approached our market in the United States in 2007. They were developed and produced the first time in 2004. And it is, to me, like getting involved with cigarettes in the 1950s. So it has just recently become one of my research interests, but I'm very excited about it because I think we're at the forefront and we're just now answering questions for the first time about electronic cigarettes. We previously saw that it was primarily people trying to quit, or people who said, you know, they weren't going to smoke anymore, but if it's not dangerous for you, they've craved that nicotine since they quit. So that was that market. Now we're starting to see, now this is kind of trendy, it's kind of cool, and we're seeing a younger market. And that's where studies are now showing that it's those who are predominantly, when adult studies, those who are under the age of 30 are more likely to have tried electronic cigarettes. I think the biggest part is that we don't know enough about electronic cigarettes to say definitively these are the health risks. And some people say, well, we're going to have to wait 50 years to see what those health risks are. And I don't personally like that, because I believe in prevention instead of waiting for something to happen and telling you why it went wrong. The electronic cigarettes are very different from cigarettes and their makeup. From how you draw in electronic cigarette, there have been studies that have looked on the puffing and the power that it takes to puff in a regular cigarette as to compared to a conventional to an electronic. Electronics are also, they contain liquid nicotine, so they pose different health risks than conventional cigarettes. They're advertised as having fewer chemicals, and while I do believe studies have shown that there are fewer chemicals, they're also showing that there are some chemicals that may not, or that may be potentially harmful. Another is that they are electronic and some can be complicated. There was a case study out of Florida where a man had one combust in his mouth and it blew up with liquid nicotine blowing up in his face. Liquid nicotine can absorb through the skin, and there is a fatal dosage of nicotine. So if a person is to consume, if it were to combust in his mouth and he were to swallow nicotine, he could potentially be harmed or die from nicotine overdose. So those are some of the potential harms, and so while I don't know how they compare, I'm hesitant to say one is safer or more safe or less safe than the other, just because we don't know enough about electronic cigarettes at this point.